All right, what is going on, you guys? It's Blaze here at the Blue Chip Athletic Club podcast. Today is August 23rd. Hey, bro, chill. I've got a crying dog in here because Chelsea's going out on a run right now, and we are dog sitting a buddy's dog right now, and he does not like when somebody leaves. So if you guys hear a dog crying in the back, I promise that is not a pet neglect. That is just somebody leaving the house and him being a little bit upset. But where was I? Oh, yeah. Today is August the 23rd, 2026. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying your day over there whenever you're listening to this. But I'm looking to give you guys a little bit of a overview today on SMART goals, why I think that they matter, and then a little bit about some training updates and updates for me personally over the last couple of weeks as we get rolling. So first, I want to shout out podcast sponsors, JSF Nutrition. Again, we left First Form a number of, I guess, weeks ago at this point, maybe about a month ago, for no, I'll say like ill feelings or anything towards those guys. Just saw an opportunity to support another small business, people that we know, people that we want to help and support, who make great products, and we're able to kind of partner up with them and make sure that we use their stuff. So I don't know, I've done this twice now. Product placement, I do take this every morning, which is probably why it's sitting here at the desk, is where I'm going to be working and doing school stuff. But their electrolytes are super awesome. And the other thing is I've tried out these greens, which are berry flavored green, a little different than the chocolate greens that I had been taking with First Form, but again, something else that you can kind of spin up, throw in a smoothie. They taste and mix super well. So we're going to continue. We've got ourselves on auto ship, which is fun for us. So we're able to kind of just have this stuff show up here at the house. You don't have to think about it. And hopefully it doesn't sit outside if we're on vacation for, a couple of weeks. Other people that I wanted to shout out that I feel like I've done a poor job of recently is going to be Harvest Host. Dude, how cool is it? We've got this sweet camper van now, which I truly love. As a kid, I used to go camping all the time. We would stay at like KOAs and different kind of campsites all over the place. But now I've got my own kind of van camper, which, a little bit, I guess, more niche of a market. But if any of you guys are like campers or like to get outside and do those things, Harvest Host is super cool. I don't know if I've explained their business model really, but essentially you pay a flat fee annually. So I want to say it was like 150, 160 bucks. And then what you can do is it partners up with businesses. So let's say you own a pizza place. You're traveling from Florida to New York, or vice versa in your camper, and you're like, hey, I want to pull in. You can stay at this pizza place. You can spend $0 to camp there overnight. Maybe they have hookups for you, utilities, maybe they don't. It kind of varies place to place, but you could stay there for the night. And the only ask from the business is that you pop in there and you spend like 30 bucks a night that you end up staying there. So what does it do? Props up the business, helps them, helps you because you're probably going to go out to eat or have a beer. They do it at breweries as well anyway. So it's a way that you can kind of make your travel arrangements work, which for me as a pilot that is on the road a lot and enjoys to travel and camp and whatnot, it's just another avenue that you can use. So we've got a Harvest Host code if you guys want. I believe it is 20% off all the time. So go ahead and check the show notes for that. And then Sweet Perfections protein cookies. I do a poor job of telling you guys when we use them. We send them out for pretty much every holiday to everybody that we coach personally. Super great. You can mix them up in Ninja Creamies, just dip them in milk. I mean, they're awesome. Also run by a Coast Guard veteran, or I guess somebody who had separated from the Coast Guard as well, who's a classmate of mine, Hannah, who does a really great job for making those cookies. So check out those guys. We've got discount codes for them. I believe that's 10% off. Go ahead and pop in the show notes and let it ride. So, oh boy, we're getting through it. Okay. So after a 5-minute update from those things, we'll get into a little bit of a life / training / whatever update. from me, and I do need to run in about 20 minutes for a call, so I want to make sure that I keep this thing brief. Training update. So I'm still training for this wheelchair half marathon. I'll call like the ultimate side quest from me breaking bones of both my feet. Today was my longest roll so far. I've got about a month and a couple weeks until the race. The race is on October the 4th. Today is August 23rd. So yeah, a month, a couple, may call it 6 weeks or so. And I rolled 4.7 miles in an hour. So I was a 12:40-ish, 12:45-ish pace for that whole time. Dude, I'm telling you, hats off. I'll say like the hardest part, and I think I've said this on here before, of doing this race and raising money for Coast Guard Mutual Assistance, as well as this special needs grant program that the Coast Guard runs, is that I'm not somebody who is wheelchair bound 100% of the time. Obviously, when I broke bones in my feet, it's something an avenue that I could have explored. And because of the circumstance of me, I was supposed to run this half marathon. I still wanted to compete, and then I wanted to find a way to kind of give back to the community that I operate in. It just led me on this wild side quest of reaching out to companies, adaptive sports companies, you name it, kind of doing the whole thing. And I'm finding an appreciation for the people that are doing this day in and day out. And I will tell you that my chest is incredibly sore. And I'm not even like trying to go super fast on these rolls every single day. Today was all about like distance and just going slow, steady, controlled. I actually will tell you that I was listening to a podcast for the first like 40-ish minutes. And I think that kind of helps control my pace. If I listen to music, especially depending on the tempo of the music, I find that I'll either go faster, burn myself out. But if I am listening to a podcast where I have to intentionally listen, comprehend, and understand things, I don't have the physical capability to like push myself super hard and also get those benefits. So for what it's worth, maybe that's a personal thing. Maybe there's I would assume there's some more studies that are leaning into that, seeing as it's uh, something that's probably not just Blaze specific. But found myself listening to that again. The chest is crazy. The shoulders are getting super sore in doing this training thing, and I think it's just it's been very eye opening to what these guys who operate in a wheelchair day in and day out, guys and gals, go through on a daily basis. Definitely feeling thankful for that. Probably 6 weeks until I'm going to be rolling like 3x what I just did this morning, which puts me about a 3-hour half marathon. I do feel like I could have continued to go this morning, so thankfully we're kind of in the build up phase again. We're gonna make it happen, man. It is definitely something. I want to talk a little bit about school / work updates, and then I kind of want to get into our smart goals side, because I think it all, ironically enough, all that relates to smart goals, and I think I can kind of tie it all in here at the end. So, school update. So I'm studying for a master's degree right now, online through tuition assistance and the American Public University System, or AMU, formerly, and athletic training development, which is athletic coaching or athletic training. And it's kind of all had a baby. It's like almost like the perfect storm of things to yield to this business, which is why I'm doing it. Totally out of specialty, totally away from anything that I've done in the service as far as like aviation. And I'm about to finish my first class next week. A week from today is actually the last day, which is super exciting for me because it's a 12 class requirement, 1/12 of the way there. And it feels kind of tangible, it feels like it's, I don't know, somewhere around, I think it's like 7 or 8% or so if you do the math through a master's program, which I don't know, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to continue to learn that. I'm learning a lot about sport history and culture right now in my first class, which has been fun. And then as far as work is concerned, I am up walking in a cam boot. And I think this is actually important. So let me grab this thing here. So as I bend down and grab this. So if anybody's watching this on video, you'll be able to see it. And if anyone's listening, I'm going to explain it. So my cam boot here goes up the leg. This is pretty standard, I'd say, for what people are walking in. Goes around the leg. I'm walking on this guy all day long, day in and day out. But what you'll notice is that if this is on the ground, you can't see much of anything if I'm holding this. If this is on the ground, it like makes you higher, like taller on that one leg, right? So after a day of walking in this thing, I was like, dude, my hip is gonna be like way out of alignment, right? Like my one hip is gonna be. We're artificially like making one leg. So I Googled like there has to be somebody who has invented something, and lo and behold, I have no partnership with this company. I don't know if I ever want to, seeing as it would mean I'm like, oh yeah, like I don't know, you're just hurt all the time, so you need something like this. But this company makes this like super legit. It's almost like a shoe for, again, people on video, you're getting way more out of this. It's like a shoe outer sock that kind of like, this is like rubber material that kind of goes around and fits your shoe. But what it does is it elevates your normal shoe. And they've got like 2 or 3 like levels of inserts to make it so that your legs are artificially like the same length. So what is that doing? It's making it so that I can walk. My hips are not quite as out of alignment. They may be slightly still, but it's something that's way less noticeable. And it's been way helpful. So, I told our medical staff, I was like, hey, dude, when you guys give out a cam boot, you need to give out one of these too, because I think they're going to be super cool. The company that makes this one, what is it called? Even Up. I think I got it for like $35 on Marketplace. So if any of you guys are crawling out of a cam boot, or you're like, hey, dude, I heard of this thing, go get one. I feel like it is incredibly helpful if you're going to be in the boot for, any significant amount of time, which I should be in it somewhere between 2 and 6 weeks is the latest update, at least from my artificial intelligence doctor. So I have an official meeting with the doctor here on Wednesday this week. I need to make sure I'm drinking this, which will then kind of determine the rest of my path. So what does that path look like? I basically was chatting with our flight doctor and was like, hey, when I can safely get in and out of the aircraft, then I can push with 80 pounds of rudder force or so into the pedals, which, is kind of like full throw for us. Am I good to fly? And she's like, yep, you're good to fly. Get that written. So I'm excited. I'm hoping, in a couple weeks, maybe a month max, I'm back in the seat. We'll see kind of how that goes and how that recovery window and of course how the ortho feels about that. So, oh man. Okay. Topic of the day, SMART goals, and how this kind of relates to all of those things that I just talked about. What is a SMART goal? I feel like this is a term that's thrown around in health a lot, and it's kind of frustrating because like, it's like, oh, just make your goal a SMART goal. And it's just like, well, I don't necessarily know, is that the fix it all for everything? Maybe. But I want to add something else into that. And I'm going to get to that kind of at the end, which I think has affected both of these kind of topics that I talked about today, which is wheelchair half marathon, as well as my master's degree program. So what is SMART? SMART is a version of goal setting that basically makes things a little bit more concrete. If you're like, hey, I want to be healthier, being healthier can happen a multitude of different ways, and you're kind of leaving the goal so broad that you don't necessarily know how to define success and when you've gotten to that point. So what I'll say is like, people come in to work with us in our one-on-one training programs, in our nutrition coaching, in our sleep coaching. We like to get really concrete and say like, hey, what are you actually trying to do? And also like, why are you trying to do it? Why now? Why now is a big question that I ask on on discovery calls with people, like, why are you reaching out at this point? What got you interested in being healthy at this point? And a lot of times people are like, hey, a life change. Maybe they see older parents deteriorating in their health because, father time is undefeated. Maybe they're having kids of their own and they're like, hey, I want to be a healthy example for them. I haven't had the best habits in the past, and now I want to kind of turn those things around. So some change in motivation can be it. Maybe confidence levels. Maybe you don't look the way you want in the mirror. There's multitude of different reasons. But if you just say I want to be healthier, it's not going to be super helpful. So we try to apply the SMART framework, and I don't necessarily say oh, this is your goal. You want to be healthier. Let's apply a SMART goal instead. It's like, okay, I kind of walk you through what that looks like, knowing that from my coaching background and certification background, to then apply that to you. So what does that look like? Hey, your goal needs to be SMART. The S stands for specific. It needs to be more specific than I just want to be healthier. The specificity is going to be something that helps drive the definition of success. And I'm going to talk about that a lot. Like, what is success defined as to you? So specificity is very important. The M is measurable. The goal needs to be something that you can measure, pass, fail, progress towards, some way that you can say, hey, did I achieve the thing I set out to achieve? The A is going to be attainable. So is this goal realistic for me? This is the one that I'm going to add a little caveat at the end, but is this a realistic thing? Are you saying, hey, I want to run a full Ironman, and you've never trained before? If maybe we need to recage expectations in that sense, and I think it's easy to see. R is going to be relevant. So is this goal relevant to the person, the training, the life that you kind of want to lead? And the example would be like, hey, if you're training to get on a bodybuilding stage, maybe you're going out and marathons all the time, or training for an Ironman, not necessarily going to help those goals. So is that relevant where you're trying to go? Do you want to get on a bodybuilding stage, or do you want to be able to get on and off the ground when you're playing with your kids and not be in pain? Those are two very, very different things and very different lifestyle goals. And I'll say those lead you to a very different place when you are setting your goals with the framework. It's going to be you have a specific end date, or you have time where you're then going to reevaluate kind of how you are along the way. That doesn't necessarily mean the journey stops at that point, but it does mean there's a reevaluation period, and then you're able to kind of make a change throughout that. So that's going to be the SMART goal framework. And the thing that I kind of want to add on, which kind of goes hand in hand with the attainable goal, is I like to think about a level up goal, something that scares you a little bit, pushes you a little bit out of your comfort zone, and then becomes something that levels you up, and shows that you can do something hard. Now, this came into effect a ton for my wheelchair half marathon, master's degree, for reasons. Wheelchair half marathon, number one, qualifies as a SMART goal because it's very specific. I'm rolling 13.1 miles in a everyday wheelchair, i.e. not a racing wheelchair. And I'm trying to do that and complete it within the time cap. I don't necessarily have a time goal. That is something that I probably should try and work on as part of my SMART goal framework. So, as we continue. M, it's measurable, obviously. 13.1 miles, pass or fail. Did I finish? Did I not? Is it attainable? I think it is definitely part of one of those level up goals. The first day getting on this chair, I'll tell you, I rolled it for 0.6 miles, and I was like, I don't honestly know if I can do this, dude. This is definitely something that is a level up or a reach goal, of being hey, this is going to be very hard, and I need to put some time, effort, and energy into developing the skill of rolling in this wheelchair, as well as the engine to be able to just burn my shoulders out for the duration of the race. So then relevant, it's relevant because it is part of the only training that I can do for this. And you know what else? Like, I think that the charity whole like component of this has made it incredibly relevant for me. So I'm raising money for the Coast Guard, mutual assistance. I'm trying to help special needs families, and like donate to them. And man, like that to me makes this relevant, makes it feel really good, makes me more motivated to stay on that path as well. And then time bound, yeah, dude, race is October 4th, and I got to be ready to rock by then. So that is kind of how I think that this race is checking those boxes. My other example is going to be grad school. Is it specific? Yeah, I want to get a master's degree in athletic training development. You know, like what's next? Hey, it's measurable. Yeah, you're going to walk away with a diploma that you can frame on a wall. You know, some extra letters after your name, whatever that may be. Is it attainable? Now, again, part of a level up goal, right? Like, Blaze, you got a lot of irons in the fire is something that I hear a lot. I work full time as a Coast Guard pilot and an aeronautical engineer. I run a full time training business. I do podcasts once a week. I coach people here in small group trainings in the Tampa area. By the way, if you guys are interested in those, hit us up and we can put you through the application process, because we do not take everybody into that program. We have to like hanging out with you, and you have to fit the vibe. So there's some ultra extra criteria. You know, you're doing even some lacrosse coaching, you're, you know, helping other people around the air station with financial goals. Like, I've got a lot of things that tend to stretch me relatively thin. So adding on grad school, which has been a commitment for sure, was something that I'm like, oh, this is another one of those level up goals. And the reason that it becomes one of the level up goals is because I want to finish in my own timeline of under 2 years. So finishing a master's in under 2 years is basically like school the entire time. Be working school from, you know, the day I started until that 2 year window. I basically need to take no time off based on the math that I'd done. So part of that level up goal makes me a little bit nervous as my life continues to progress and things get thrown into it. I've got to get really good at managing the time. Speaking of which, I only got a couple minutes before I got to finish up and pop off this call. Time bound, yeah, 2 years. Relevant. It's relevant for me because it's relevant for this business. It makes me better in my coaching, in my management of myself, future coaches, in my development of athletes that we work with, whether those are youth athletes or, you know, older people, pilots, active duty military members, all those things. And I'll say like the wide swath of people that have found us, found the things that we say and talk about, and found some way to resonate with that, which truly, I think I've said that in last week's episode, is like, it comes from somebody along my development arc of like, hey, you were a youth athlete that played high level sports. Maybe you're a college athlete that played collegiate sports. You were a power lifter. Oh, you were in flight training and you were almost kicked out because you were too heavy for the ejection seat. Well, now you're a pilot who wants to be able to fly for as long as you can. You want to be able to get on and off the ground and not be in pain, like all those other things kind of coming in. So I'm finding like somebody along the way wanting to work with us is basically what the niche has become. It's been me at some point in my archetype, which very, very interesting kind of thing to kind of hit on. But the reason that I talk about SMART goals today, the reason that I'm kind of hitting on this heavily is because I think when you can set an event end date and you can sign up for something that kind of pushes you out of that comfort zone, makes you train, it forces you to get up and do the things. You can start to see the snowball effects of wins that kind of stack up because of that. You've got to manage your time. You've got to make sure that you're getting out and training. You've got to make sure that you're prepared. Otherwise, it's going to likely be anxiety inducing and something that's going to make it more challenging for you moving forward. So thinking about ways that you can, sign up for the event, dude. Like, just go for it. Like, go sign up for the half marathon. Go sign up for the sprint try. Go sign up for the powerlifting contest or Olympic weightlifting contest, or be part of something that ends up pushing you out of that comfort zone. It sets the SMART goal almost in effect for you by having an event like that, which is why a lot of people that train for these types of things are incredibly successful in it, because they have an end date, they have a specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound goal, i.e., SMART goal that they're working towards. So something to consider, something for you guys to chew on here. Again, I told you I was going to be in and out shortly because I got to pop on a call. So if this episode was helpful for you guys, again, please drop us a 5-star on any platform, throw us a follow, give us some love, comment, share it with somebody that you know. It really just helps our show grow, helps us continue to deliver high quality coaching to people all over the world. And remember, you don't stop playing because you get old. You get old because you stop playing. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.